And I'm not going to be going for temp shift plates. It should be fine. Okay, so from here, all we need to do now is work on the regolith cooling and heating design. Okay. So we need to make a room for the regolith to go into, which is fine. And I think we don't need the blueprints anymore because we know how the design's going to lay out. So the cooling and heating design. First things first, hot regolith. We're basically going to have a room with an auto sweeper loader. And then that's going to be running into an area with a temperature check. If it's above, below with a shutoff, we could sort them out that way based off of the temperature range. And then if it's hot, too cold, we'll do it accordingly. So above 150, we probably run it into a steam turbine design, classic setup. So, you know, simple 7x5 box. Run a steam turbine inside, run the rails, regular gets cooled down, simple stuff. I could probably run something like that. Not really. I feel like if I have too much cold regolith, it's going to ruin the temperature of the box, so I can't use the same salt water. Oh, use the salt water that I was going to crush for a separate cooling design? That kind of does work. Do I want to do that, though? So this brings it down to 125. After 125, you have to chill it a little bit more. So we want to run another room that cools down the regolith from 100 plus to... That has to be the salt water. But then this is a little bit incremental. God damn it, man. So the steam turbine room to cool things down, warming things up. We don't really have a lot of options. I feel like we might run out of water eventually. Especially if we use this geyser. But if we don't, like, what other methods do we really have? Heating. Creating heat. Oh, running it through here? The spawn room is actually pretty optimal. There's a lot of gas here, and it's constantly heating up. That could be one of them. Outside of that, maybe utilize the cool steam vents. That's potentially another idea. Dude, and it's right here. Why wouldn't I? Dude, that's actually great. Running a steam turbine to cool it down. Afterwards, we run it through the cool steam vent here. So anything cold goes into here, anything hot goes into the turbine. And then the only thing we need afterwards is balancing out temperatures. Oh man, so I do eventually build a saltwater box, it looks like. Damn, that's unfortunate. I was trying to avoid that if possible. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes into here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually where that is. This could be the ceiling. Alright, so this is tough because the regolith is going to fall down. We know that's going to happen. If I can, I'm going to go across and mine that out first and then build the ceiling. If the gas leaks out, the gas leaks out. I need to actually stop the regolith from falling down. So we infinite spill, run it into the saltwater room to have that stabilize in temperature a little bit. And then that's going to cool it down a little bit so we can run it through here to heat it back up. I mean, it kind of works, but at the same time, not really. Well, hopefully it works. We're going to first try this every time. Let's get this working on. What was the start answer for this one? Oh, this was a modded start. So this is the Baator Mod, exclamation point BAATOR in chat. That mod, the Baator Mod, is a custom start planetoid. And what does that mean? That means this is not normal. And this is my planet. Welcome to the 10 biomes of hell. So it's extreme map generation, and you're supposed to lose. So it's like the temperature that's cold, it's really cold. I have liquid oxygen, that's how cold it is. The places that are hot are really hot. We have rock gas, 2500 Celsius. A lot of magma everywhere. And then we have a lot of heat everywhere as well. So this is not a normal playthrough. We have a lot of elements on here that shouldn't actually appear. Like, what's this? This is pyrite? What the hell is pyrite? It's iron, baby. Only way to do it. But, you know, it's not a normal playthrough. So there's not much that's similar to this, if anything at all. How awesome. Yeah, if you're an experienced player, I recommend checking this out because it's mad fun. It's mad fun. Especially if you have a lot of experience. But if you don't have the experience, maybe, you know, avoid this because this is built for you to lose. This is literally built for you to lose. Let me say that much. This was designed to make sure you fail as often as possible. There's so many ways for you to die. So I will give you a fair warning. Fair warning. I have 800 hours, but I have taken a long break and I'm getting back into it. I'll probably want to play a regular playthrough first before checking out the Baator mod. But I will say that you want to check out the Baator mod. It's pretty fun. It's good times. It's good times. Alright, so no steam turbine. We're taking the heat, condensing it down. And then we want to use that as a means of warming up the regolith. And then we're going to have to pump out the water. I have 3,000 hours. Not a lot, just 3,000. That does work out. That works out pretty well. What's going on, Jacob Blight? Hope you're doing well. I'll take the sands. Oh, you're a researcher. Oh, crap, dude. But you're ranching. I don't know if I want to grab that. I do want another researcher, though. I mean, at this point, I don't need it. Because I don't really need another researcher. Alright, she is flying. Oh, we found the tear! Let's go! Hey, we found the tear. Easy money. That's what I want to see. I hear you, Mamba. We're still streaming, baby, so you gotta wait. Alright, that's one objective down. Getting the tear. Alright, so let's speed up the build. No, I'm lagging and I built a ladder. First things first, did I build a blueprint of ladders across my map? I did not. We're winning, boys. Did not get bopped by the autosave lag. Hello, brother. I'm a super noob at this game, so I'm curious what someone knows when the... what someone knows what they're doing does. Oh, I got you. Ask questions if you need some help. If you need some advice, yo, man, let me know. But we're doing some weird stuff. The best part is when you build stuff on a different asteroid due to save lag. Oh yeah, dude, that's the worst. The drag through the fog, and then, you know, we start deconstructing stuff. That stuff sucks. I feel you with that, grid stop. But yo, man, ask the questions. I don't know what to show you because I don't know what you're looking for. But there's a lot of things that we're doing, but you know, we built it and automated it so we don't have to look at it anymore. So we have a water filter design. We pump up all the liquids that get dripped off to here, and I have a bottle emptier that releases all liquids that are bottled up. And we drip them off into here, and we filter out all the liquids. Right now, it's only water. And then they go into their respective infinite storage, and then we have a pitcher pump so that we have direct access if we need it. So we have a large water filter. We have a volcano tamer that's passively just giving us aluminum. I don't have to look at it anymore, right? So they're just passively automated. We have a Sweetle Ranch. We have an overflow for the Sweetle Ranch. This is our living space where we are having our bedrooms, kitchens, meal halls, bathrooms, showers. And then we have various other volcano tamers that are automatic as well. Food is automatic. We have shovels. We have Dreco ranches. This is an automated kill box. This is a overflow kill box for the hatches. That's also automated, so when there are not enough hatches in the area below, the hatches up top fall down. Spawn, perfectly automated. Infinite gas pressure, so it never stops running as long as we have water. So you can see that my oxygen is just going off the charts, 2000 degrees. Cooling for the oxygen right here, also automated, right? Everything's automatic, and it's gonna get to a certain pressure level. Power plants, my duplicates are constantly giving the tune-up for the bonus power here. It's pretty good. This is what powers the entire base. And then we're just doing some builds right now for a new design that I'm trying to set up. Outside of that, research is done. We don't need to do any more research. So everything here is just kind of idle. Our rockets are there. My reactor is right here. We get... this is pretty much 2 nuclear reactors combined. Because we're at 24,657. So because of that, it's, you know, we get free Radbolt energy. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Do you have an auto cooker for the Sandy shells, or how do you kill them? Oh, I don't. They are starving to death. So the moment they die due to old age is when we get the seafood. Instead, for seafood, we have a pacu ranch, because pacus are a lot more easier to automate. So this is the breeding farm, and this is the infinite farm. Let's look at the colony summary. This is not what I was looking for. Can they tell me how much pacus I have? This was not it. See all panel? Where's the see all panel? Colony report, there we go. They don't give you the details, huh? Oh, right here. Wild critters. I don't need that. All my pacu... I have 4 pacu fry that are wild. Holy crap. 24 other pacu that are wild. 31 pips that are wild. Hey, let's go. And then if I look at domesticated critters, 150 pacu that were domesticated. 6 tropical. And then we have any gulpfish? 22 Sweetles, 11 glossy Drecos. A lot of pacu, though. Pacus are the name of the game. Oh, dude, 41 baby pacu. 150 adults. Thank you, ATP. I'll see you over there. Looks dope. Appreciate it, Jacob. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're a new player and you want to learn how to do what we're doing, I'll be happy to work you through it to help you get to that point. But let me know if you have any questions. But, you know, if you want to learn on your own, naturally in your own playthroughs, you're welcome to as well. If you ever get to a point to, you know, you're frustrated with the gameplay, that's going to be where we're going to be here to help. Dude, what the heck? Just a Pisky, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I see you over there. Holy heck. Silent Path, Kit 1982, MV Hank, Roloff, and Rained One. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Appreciate the support. Hi. You use pacus for decor? I am not currently. It's pretty good though, because we have... Dude, I have 1,000 decor right there. That's insane. I have 1,000 decor. What the heck, dude? This is 2,000 decor on the tile. 1660 from the pacu. 380 from the baby pacu. Jesus Christ. But yo, Just a Pisky, thank you so much. Appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Y'all know who to thank if you heard me call your name out in chat. But yo, man, thank you for the 5. And welcome to the city, everyone. Hope you enjoy your stay. Dude, this is insane decor. That's pretty insane. Wait. The decor range of this is how much? Oh, the pacu is only 1 tile radius. Feels bad. Should have made the tiles around glass so they could create more prettiness. I should have. Make this into an aquarium. Make this into an aquarium, dude. Glass tiles everywhere. Ah, that would have been smarter. Hey, happy to support. You learned so much. Oh, you come from the YouTube. I see you. I see you. Yo, man, happy to be able to help. I'm releasing more content soon. I am hoping to be able to get back into a weekly release with daily VODs. The Trops have 5 or 6. Tropical Pacus? I think we have 6 of them. 6 tropical, 2 baby tropicals. No goldfish. Feels bad. No goldfish. And then we got the Pacu here, that's the breeding tank. Eating all the mealwood seeds. Having a good time. That's the one thing about mealwood. I love always going for mealwood. Because after you transition away from mealwood, you use the seeds to feed the Pacu. And it's such a good process chain. It's so good. And then you get more seeds from your Dreco Ranch. Well, no, you don't harvest, right? So you don't get as many seeds as you would normally. Tile range. Dude, I don't want to click on this 100 times to reach one tropical Pacu. Got a tropical baby. It's 5 tiles. I imagine it's the same. Dude, you know what I'm talking about, man. There's so many critters there. I don't want to click on that 200 times just to see one tropical fry. That'd be a bad time. But yeah, it's 5 tiles versus the 1. So that's what that is. The big shine that we see right here. Only from the tropical babies. Alright, so we're working on this still. Speed this up. We gotta sweep up the items here. I hear you, Mom, but you're gonna be okay. Not yet, baby. We're still streaming. My kitty cat is, like, fiending for some attention right now, man. Fiending. Absolutely fiending. Do you ever go through and call them for performance, or you tend to not have issues? Only when I start to lag. I'll go in and start killing them, but, you know, it's not really a big deal. Autosave lag I don't care about. It's when I'm simulating and it starts to lag, I'll think about killing them. But first, I'm gonna kill the flying critters. Because these guys, even though they're inside the base, they could fly around. These guys usually cause a lot more issues, the shine bugs. So killing the shine bugs are usually first. And then puffs. Gotta die as well. Flying critters cause more lag than fishes do. Of course, fishes in general, because they're all separate entities, all probably need to be monitored at a certain point. But I could make a kill box where we maintain a certain amount of Pacu, and then everything above that gets killed automatically. Because Pacu in and of itself, you want to keep them alive, if you didn't know, even when they're tame. Even when the Pacus are tame, they have a base rate reproduction of 7%. That actually means that they're able to be starvation ranched. So, yeah. Since you could starvation ranch tame Pacu, we're maintaining population, and each new egg I lay adds to that. So it only goes up and never goes back down. So the Pacus are pretty good. So I do need to do a population control if I want to reduce the lag and make a kill box for them. If you guys didn't know, the kill box for a Pacu is freezing them. Right? Minus 20 livable range. That usually means cold oil, cold petroleum, cold ethanol. Drop them in, and then they just freeze to death and die. You do get meat from that, so it's pretty good. But yeah, not yet. I'm not going to be killing them for performance. Not yet. Probably eventually we will, though. Alright, so this is going to be the... Come on, what are you doing, baby? I know. This is going to be where we heat up. Why did I have a double tile set up here? Why did it have a double tile set up here? I think I messed this up. I think it's like... Well, no. I think it's like this. Here. Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, it should be like that. There we go. Oh, that's a use for liquid CO2 geyser. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Liquid CO2 is normally at -55. You could use this to kill pacu. Oh, that's such actually great usage. Oh, can this kill all aquatic critters? That'd be pretty good. Poke shells. That's another one that can't be killed underwater. Yep, -30. And the last one is plug slugs. They all have the same temperature livable range. -30 as well. So they all die to the CO2 liquid geyser. Wow. That's actually interesting. That's pretty interesting. I didn't even make that connection. Cthulhu, I see you over there. I see you over there, Mr. Cthulhu. Alright, so this room has to be sealed. We'll sweep up the items. Then we need to make a steam room here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be sealed up and put a turbine on top. I want to see a sponge slug try to soak up the liquid CO2. Don't do it, man. Because when it dies, it's going to release all of it back out. They're technically making a balloon, dude. Don't do this. It's going to pop and get carbon dioxide everywhere. You would have to actually collect it to keep it liquid. Or just have it, you know, spawn in a vacuum. In an airflow tile environment. Ooh. And then any of the CO2 that becomes gas, you pump it out. Oh, that works so good. That would work so good. Like, actually. That would work pretty well, man. This is a little bit wide, but it's fine. Alright, so steam turbine. This is the cool steam vent room. The idea is we pump out the water and then delete it, probably back into here. Oh, it bugged them out, dude. Come on, man. It ate something so spicy it was gonna die. We've all been through that, man. Eat something way too spicy that we can't handle. Feels like we're gonna die soon. Classic plug slug shenanigans, man. Alright, so we do a steam turbine box to cool everything down. This is to heat it up. Once both of these are here, we run this through the salt water. I might actually make the salt water spill out into here, so it's all connected. And then I probably have it so that this is walkable into this area, and then we have space right here. And then if we go past that, it's the saltwater line, and I want that connected, so that when we run the rail, it's a little bit better. I would worry that the mass of the critter would be too high for the liquid CO2 to cool it, given how low conductivity CO2 is. That's true. Wait, is liquid CO2 also low conductivity? No, it's not. 1.4. That's the same conductivity as sandstone. It's not that bad. The SXC is a little bit better. Yeah, it's a lot worse in gas form. And the liquid form is actually not that bad. Conductivity goes from 0.15 to freaking 1.4. That's like easily 1,000-fold higher. Holy crap. Oh, capacity. I see. Yeah, it doesn't hold a lot. SXC is about the same. SXC is about the same, that's true. But there's nothing else that's naturally going to be able to kill it, right? Geyser-wise? Outside of the liquid CO2, there's nothing colder than that. Cool slush, cool salt slush, not cold enough, sadly. Oh, this was done fast, dude. Gotta make these. Gotta mop that up. Of course, gotta put this here. There's a water weed growing on there. I was like, why can't I build a tile? Alright, so these are gonna be oil locks. My bad, kid. I misread that. Very sorry. Apologize for the miss stuff. I think we're gonna deconstruct this because I don't think we need this. I want to keep the neurovacillator though. Should be fine. Let's remove the door. That's good. Let's turn this off. Oil in the other one. And then we'll just mine this out. Alright, so what else do we have to move through this? Move out the gas, that's fine. The rails is it, right? So the eggs move out. All the eggs always move out. The only thing is if we get a regular shovel, it's going to be a problem. It'd be interesting to test out and see if the numbers work out. What is the breaking point where you would use it? Any tips on moving a liquid storage tank that's 14 tons of water per tile? Just need to move it down about 40 tiles or so. I was thinking about doing a waterfall pit to a gas pump. You mean liquid pump, right? Because you're doing liquid storage? Okay, so... let's say you have it like this. And let's say this is a geyser. So you have an infinite storage, right? And then you want to move that to a different location. So what you want to do is, there's two ways you could do it. You could try to create a bottleneck. Bottlenecks are probably going to be what you want to do for this. Because bottlenecks limit how much water could be pushed out of the infinite storage. So the bottleneck you're going to want to make is probably something like this. These two tiles, since they're solid, they're going to be bottleneck tiles. And since you build it out of doors, the pressure is not going to damage it. So you could bottleneck it like this, and then it could fall down. If you're scared of the water splashing everywhere, you could also put airflows here. You don't have to do that. And then what you could do is you could try to catch, like let's say this is 40 tiles, right, where I'm digging out. You could try to catch it like this, right? And then afterwards, have it do another infinite spill, which is the top half of this. Right? And then you just have that spill back in. So the infinite spill has a problem where if too much liquid spills in at the same time, you have a problem. So by creating the bottlenecks before it and even after it like that, you limit the amount of water drips out. But it, you know, you do it powerless. You don't need any liquid pumps. All you need to do is have the liquid that you have here set up for an infinite spill here so that the gas bubbles don't move. After you're good with that, you could just put an airflow tile here, right? Of course, this is assuming that, you know, you probably have a door here for that to work properly. And then you could seal it up. That'd probably be the best way. Outside of that, you could just slowly pump it. It'll take you a few hours, but it gets the job done. Just pump it out, technically. You're a big brain, thank you. Yo, man's happy to be able to help. Just happy to be able to help. Am I not able to... I have to oh no, it was halfway done. I was like, I have to manually click on the ladder to demolish it? That's weird. Okay, that's fine. I probably move up the suit eventually. Okay, so we're doing this design. Steam turbine on top. Okay, that's fair. Let's get rid of this. And then let's assume the steam turbine's going to be here. So it's going to be here. Right? Most likely. And then I want to have the saltwater infinite spill, kind of. Because I want to hold the saltwater to run it through both of these. I was worried about it just bursting all over. The limiting idea will solve my issue. You're a rockstar. Yeah. Bottleneck. Make sure you use doors. Either the manual airlock and mechanized airlock, and make sure you lock it. Don't do this with the default, because if you didn't know, by keeping it on auto and turning off door parameters, what happens is that if a dupe decides to stand here and want to move to this tile, they could actually do that. Because the doors will open if you cross diagonally from this tile to that tile. Something like that. So if there was a tile here, and a dupe wanted to go from here to here, he will actually open this door even though it's no opening for the parameters. So you have to actually lock the doors. Like, go to the door and hit the lock button. Otherwise, the duplicates might open it while moving, so watch out for that. Outside of that, you should be fine with everything else. Alright, we gotta go to the other side too. I guess the vacuum's not gonna matter yet. Let's go at the... No, I have to do the top. Alright, steam turbine goes there. We need to make a line for the salt water to spill. I guess it doesn't have to be extravagant. Alright, let's mine this out so that we could do the layer right here. So we need to have this heat up, this cool down, and they both end up going to the saltwater room, which is around 90 degrees. So the problem with that is I'm going to have to use this salt water. Okay. Oh, I think my design's going to be a little bit different as a result. Okay, let me think about this. If we want to use the salt water to heat up so that it gets closer to the right temperature, this is going to bring you close to 90. This is going to bring you to 125. What are the chances that I have... Well, I get hot regolith every day. Oh, the rocket's back. Let's get the artifact. Let's go. Magma lamp. Modern art, sure. Whatever you call it, man. And the mood ring. Nice. Let's charge up the rocket, of course. Left side. Rockets are closed. Looks like we're getting a meteor shower soon. Yep. Incoming object detected. Okay, so... we get hot regolith. We cool it down. It only cools down to 125. And then we dip it into the salt water to cool it down more. But then the salt water is going to heat up. That's not good. This sounds sacrilegious. I'm thinking about using the tapidizer. This is such a weird idea. Putting a tapidizer in the saltwater tank to maintain temperature a little bit easier. Because I'm probably going to have more cold regolith, given how this biome is right here. Ice cold. Over here as well, ice cold regolith. So I'm thinking that we're going to have to do a lot of heating up. But the thing is that, yeah, I need to have it also, So we heat it up here, if it's cold. Cool steam, then we would handle that. The hot regolith up here. 125, 95, and then we bring that out. Ah, oh, that's such a pain. There is no other heat source though, right? Is this the DLC? It is the DLC. Conductive pad. I do have that. I do have that. But I don't know what that solves. For cooling, heating? No. You could use that, but it's not efficient enough for me to use that as a first option. Like, it works, but it's slow. The conductive panel is kind of like the AETN versus an aqua tuner. If you compare a aqua tuner cooling to an AETN, the AETN is just slow. The conductive panel, you could use this, but compared to a radiant pipe, it's not as good. So you could use this, but it's slow. So I don't want to use that. And there's also better bridges. Because one of the things that people were thinking about the conductive panel does is you could use this to do heat transfer like this. From the room on the left and the room on the right, heat transfer. That's actually very bad. Because this is only 100 kilograms. I think you're better off with a rail line. That's 400 kilograms of steel. And then there's also the wire bridge. Oh, this is only 5. Is the ribbon bridge a lot better? I'm not actually sure. But you normally want mass for that. No, conductive panels are bad. They're only meant to be used in a vacuum. If you're not in a vacuum, radiant pipes are always better. Now, the thing is that the only reason you would use the conductive panel is if you need to do cooling on your buildings. The only one that I found that actually somewhat works is this design. I run a radiant pipe design on my Radbolt generators, but my Radbolt generators can't be on 24/7. If they are, they heat up too fast. And then I have to wait for the Radbolt generators to be disabled for me to actually cool it down. Feels bad. They're not that good. Alright, so from here we can pump everything out. Actually has to pump it though. Yeah, we'll probably have to run a wheel or something. Gotta actually pump since I'm not able to do anything on that side. Steam turbine. Cool down, heat up. Is there any way for us to cool everything down? Alright, so I think I might have a better way of streamlining this. So I think everything always goes into the steam turbine. Everything always goes in the steam turbine. And then, if it's hot, it gets cooled down. If it's cold, it should condense the water. Oh, that's bad though, right? I would need another gas that's heavier than steam if I want that design to work out. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem, right? No, I can't do that then. It has to be all steam. And then when it's water, nothing's going to happen. That means I have to run... Oh, that's an interesting design. That means I have to run it through tiles and not actually through the steam itself. That's probably more effective. So... we run it through the tiles. Running the cold versus the hot, does that do anything? More water spilling out, it's fine. Someone's gonna get stuck. We have hot, we have cold, run it through here. If it's below a certain temp, we do the check. If it's below, go here. If it's above, go here. And then they both go into an area where we keep them. Yeah, we might have to use friggin' tempedizer. Ideally, I don't think we would, but I think we do. And this can go down in temperature, so that's fine. I think that's fine. Because we are at the top end. The only thing we're worried about is the lower end. And that means we use this to 60 degrees. If the regolith is below 60, we run it through here to pre-chill. And then afterwards, it pulls into here. And then once the regolith is around 60 to 100, I probably want to go 80 degrees. It goes out to here. But I'm thinking we might even want to do... This is... Ah, man. It just feels like something goes wrong disproportionately. The whole thing fails. That's the thing about this I'm not happy with. If we get too much cold regolith, if we get too much hot regolith, this technically is not in a good situation. Alright, so I think that means we have to do a 2-tier setup. Where we maintain temperature here, and then we have a cooling box with the salt water. That we would have to use liquid tapidizers for. Yeah, I guess that's necessary. The necessary evils, so they say. So I probably have a wall right here, so that we could run the rail through the side. And then, regardless of what happens, both of the lines would combine so that they could leave into the box for cooling. Yeah, okay. So, if we were to do the infinite spill, and then we have to vacuum everything so that we keep the temperature separated. I guess that works. So the design would be here, here, here. Here, 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 here. Right? These two. Get the pump, vacuum that out. We could actually have that on the left as well. It's not going to matter. That would be here, here, here. And then we do these two. Seal that up. We use some of the water on this side to get it started. Tapidizer, maintain it at 85. And then we have to run a weird loop with this. Ah, I see. Having this on the right makes sense, though. It really does. Okay. So let's mop up the water if we can. Should be fine. Some of the ice is just melting, that's all that is. We want to get rid of this water if we can. And then I need to make the infinite spill tank right here. Need to make sure there is no other liquid. It has to be all salt water. And then for that to work well, I need to move out all the salt water right now. I guess we could pitcher pump in to do the design. So if we understand that door insulated here, 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 and then these two, that usually means we have to insulate that around. And then we have solid tiles here. Ah, it's a little bit jank. Because of the insulated tiles. We can't go through here. That might make this easier. It's going to require 240 watts more of power, though. Okay, if that works, I have an idea to make this actually somewhat okay. Alright, so let's do that. Do that. This side's going to be fine. So we know we want a wall here. And then we have to do the regolith delivery to this side. So that means we could use this side as access. This probably extends out. And then we'll use this side as a separate room. We don't know how it's going to really work, but I'll set this up. Let's get the ladder in. So we go up this way, get to the back. And we get the rails through here, which is the main purpose. And I think that means we'll have a vacuum box over here. Or maybe that's actually fine, having the infinite spill be tight, so that it's a separate area. That actually makes a lot of sense. If we want to stop that, and then we get connected tile space, that works out pretty well. Okay, so we'll do it that way then. So the only thing we need is our weird box design. That's going to be based off of tappetizers. These are 4 tiles wide, and they use 960 watts of power each. So we're going to probably use 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a weird top-bottom design. So I think we're going to do it like this. We'll make this side by side. We're going to run metal tiles, 2 layers. And then we're going to run a box like this. And then we're going to run tappetizers top and bottom. And then our rails are going to be inside. Now, the funny thing is that for this to work, we need this. A vacuum box. So that I could run a shutoff here. Wait a second. Is it like this? Oh, it's like that. Yeah. And then a thermal check. And then the rail goes like this. And then we have to do a cancel one for a bridge. So that we have directional flow. And then we would have to bridge in somehow, some way. I kind of like this weird diagonal design, so we're going to copy that on both sides. Keep that a vacuum too, so that when I run the rail in, there's no heat transfer because of where the rail is. That kind of works. It's a very weird design, but it gets the job done. Alright, so if that's the case, how big is my initial box? 10 by 6 with insulated tiles. So it goes up to here, and it goes to here. Dude, that's so good. 10 by 6. And then we have space for the infinite storage. That works so well. That actually works so well. And then if I put the little extension box over there, it's fine. Everybody's stuck? Oh, God. Everyone's stuck. What are you doing? Please no one move to this tile. Alright, so now we do this. Don't build that fast. Fall. Nice, let's go. Oh my god, they didn't make it in time. Beat his pants. Ah, classic dupes. Well, we gotta mop that up, boys. It looks so sad passing on their little ledge, dude, man. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. The duplicate special, getting stuck on a ledge. I don't know if there's anything more iconic than that. The dupes gotta love what they gotta do. This guy's gotta die because he's flies. Okay, so... Here, here, here. Insulated tiles. Here, 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 here. Right? That's normal stuff. And then we have the tile here so that we can't do anything here. So this should connect in a weird fashion. There's probably tiles on the back too. So in most cases, I'd probably do a proper box. Even though it's a little bit larger than necessary. Just so that it's more boxy in shape. And then we would seal this up. And then we could put solid tiles on top to run on top of it. That's pretty funny. That works out. Now, we don't want to do that yet. And then we don't have a liquid lock into here. Because if I have tile, 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 this is too short for me to walk inside. I guess we don't want to have access every time. And let's also cap this out for now. Classic dupes, Hulk Nose, Hulk Bravo Man. I see you over there, but the classic dupes. With the dupe shenanigans. Alright, let's disconnect this. Let's remove half of that, because we don't know if we're going to need it anymore. Remove the pipeline. Remove the vents. This is supposed to be a turbine. Simple does it. This is a little bit wider than normal. Let's center this then. Probably going to run a normal setup like that. Now, the only thing here is that I don't have anything to cool this. That's the funny thing. Oh, we could use the water kappa. Nah, from the steam vents. So that it's self-cooling. Nah, it doesn't work, right? I could put an aqua tuner in here then. Just to cool down the steam turbine. That's such a weird design. There's nothing else I need to cool, though. That's the funny thing. And then this needs power. Dude, I don't have a way to cool that. That's so bad. I don't know if the steam is going to be cool enough to be able to handle that. So if you didn't know, the self-cooling steam turbine design, Renegade, only works within a certain steam temperature. So if your steam is too hot, it's not going to be able to self-cool. The self-cooling is only within a certain temperature range. Specifically, the temperature of the steam can never go above 133 degrees. You need to average below 133. And of course, you know, you got to do a proper average. Mass has to be accounted for, a weighted average. So that's, I don't know if that's an option because I don't know the temperature. It might be possible, but we are going to be cooling down the regolith that comes out from space. Right? It's going to be 300 degrees. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Just a little, just a little. Alright, get the oil lock. And then we could deconstruct this. Reduce ports to get the average in your favor. The reducing of the ports doesn't help. Well, I say that. It kind of does. I just don't want to mess around with that. So if you guys didn't know, when you reduce the ports, you get less heat being put onto the turbine because one of your active ports is basically off. So this allows that port's amount of heat to be distributed to the other four. So that means you get to hit a hotter temperature to hit the same amount of heat. There's like a rough, very rough value of 50 degrees Celsius per spoke. So normally you look at it on the opposite spectrum. You look at max power situation. The amount of power you get from everything at 200 degrees is the same thing as 4 of them at 250, 3 of them at 300, 2 of them at 350, or 1 of them at 400 degrees. Which means that that's very rough. It's probably not correct. But it means that you don't generate extra heat when you're cooling down steam of a different temperature that's way too hot. But that's normally tied to power, though. Maybe not so much heat deletion. I'm not 100% sure how that works. I never looked at it that way, so I haven't done the calculations for that. It's an idea, though. It's an idea. Alright. So if we have this setup here, and then we have the door here, right? To make this legit, I probably have this go straight down. And then no, actually I have to go out like this. So that the door has tiles, so that the heat loss doesn't happen over there. We could actually not worry about that and just put micrograms of gas here. I don't want to chance that, though. And then from there, that means my wall goes up to here. So here to here, 14. That's 14 exactly. Oh, that's insane. That's actually insane, because that works out perfectly. Okay, so we would have that weird vacuum tile, so that we could do that weird design. I don't have to keep it like this. Well, we do. I need to keep those tiles there so that the water is separate. So that the tepidizers are all working on a separate body of water to heat up the metal tiles. And then this is going to be how we maintain temperature. Oh, wait. I don't have any thermal sensors in here. I could try to widen this a little bit to benefit from a little bit of thermal sensors. So if we were to do that design like this, we could widen this, have a one space gap for a thermal sensor in the middle. That doesn't help, though. I don't think. I think we're better off having two sensors and having everything connected. So we go like this. Thermal sensors in a corner. And that's tied to the tepidizers. Right? And then we would have to do this. So that I could run the conveyor rail like that. To get the loop to work. This is the same. So this ends up being 15. That's fine. So tile to tile is 14. Tile to tile is 15. Can I shrink this any way, shape, or form? Can I shrink this? The only thing we could do is move one of the thermal sensors. We have to keep that tile there. I guess we could... Yeah, we need to keep that tile there. I can't bop those two and do something like that. Because I need to hold a vacuum here so that there's no heat loss. That way it's going to maintain temperature a lot better. Oh, shit! What just happened? Dude! Guys, this is not good. Did we make an infinite pressure tile here? You guys know what I'm talking? Did I make an infinite pressure tile? I think the water that was spilling from here spilled in a pattern so that the water on this tile broke the insulated tile. That's the only thing that could have happened. Restart. No, I think we could handle this. I think we could handle this. The steam here is not that bad. We have a lot of body of water here. No, I think what happened is when the liquids are spilling, because I'm basically allowing the liquid to spill, the liquid stacked in a weird setup so that the bottommost tile got all the water and then broke the tile. That's the only thing that could have happened. Dude, that's a lot of steam. Alright, I think we got this though. Let's put the Mafic here. We got this, you guys. We get some overheat damage, just a little bit. Holding on to the liquid phosphorus, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, overheat damage on the iron ore too. Come on, man, who's doing this? Where's my... This guy's a scientist. Dude, build it! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, so the steam here... It's kind of hot. Luckily for us, we have bodies of water here that's pretty cold. So this is going to be able to tank the majority of that. We're gonna need to supplement this with a little bit of ice. Luckily for us, we have a lot of ice. Oh, all my ice is locked up. Ah, feels bad. All my ice is actually locked up. Does that mean there's no more deliveries? Nope. Okay, so let's turn this to sweep only. Let's turn on access. Build some ice temp shift plates. I know we have ice. What do you mean? The ice is here. Can we get the update, please? There we go. 200 tons of ice. Okay. So first things first, let's put some ice over here. 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 Oh, come on, man. How's that gonna break? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. 24 kilograms. It's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Just a few ice cubes. Yeah, man. Oh, man. That's gas ethanol. Oh, dude. Steam is getting into my ethanol box. I have to redo this. That's fine. I didn't have a lot of ethanol anyways. Luckily for me, it can't reach the other infinite pressure tanks. Dude, we just add some cold water, man. We'll be fine. Oh, that cold water got hot pretty fast. No, pitcher pump's taking damage. Ice, please. It's cold, boys, and it's hot again. Never mind. Alright, best way to do it then is a bunch of ice temp shift plates at max priority. I think these two locations will be pretty good, and then the last one we'll do is here. Construction, yep. We gotta do that fast, boys. Adding ice will just create more steam? I mean, what else would we do then? What else would we do then? You need a cold pipe? Nah, man, we're fine. The ice is gonna be okay. The ice is gonna be okay. Trust the process. Gotta trust the process. It may look kind of bad. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I can't believe I messed that up, though. Can't believe I messed that up, boys. Oh, man. Oh, dude, they got water inside the airflow. That's illegal, dude. Come on. That's so bad. I'm gonna be so mad about that. Dice wall? Dude, I don't know what happened, man. But with enough ice, it's gonna be able to counter it. Scalding? Why aren't you wearing a suit, dude? Come on, man. Just put a suit on. These guys, what are they doing? Mert seeds, take the curative tablets. Granite, build, deconstruct. The ice is gonna work. The granite thing it's a little bit slow to do that. I see the idea though. Save restart? No, it's fine. It's fine. That's a small problem. It's just a little bit of small pain. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Look at the water. It's staying at 0 degrees. Maybe it's glitching. Oh, I see what you're saying. Save load. Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So when you build the ice, it works pretty well. Especially if the ice is really cold. And I think we're good. Everything's gonna be alright. Guys, if you guys are running in some bad luck, if you guys are having some bad times IRL, all you guys need to know is everything in life will work itself out. It doesn't mean that you could sit there and do nothing. It means that don't worry for the bad times, because good times are coming around the corner. So you'll be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Look at that, the steam's almost gone. Little bit of oxygen there. We actually don't have steam anymore, so we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We got luck. Nah, it's skills, baby. Skills. All part of the plan. I had to flex the steam bomb so people would see that I too am just a mortal and not just a guy that plays Oni for a living. And then once you guys see that I'm immortal, you guys could relate a little bit better. Funny thing is, we're pumping the water straight out, man. Dude, the water's barely at 18 degrees. Why is this so cold? Not even mad, dude. The ice won. The ice won really fast. Can't be mad. Can't be mad. We're in, boys. We're in. Took a little bit of damage, but it's okay. Today was a good day. Didn't have to go out and bring out the AK. Double layer it where it broke. No, I think what we do is we deconstruct this wall. So the reason why it broke is because there was liquids here that probably caught a gas infinite spill mechanism. Probably something like this. Right? Where it's one gas and it's spilling into itself. But because it's different liquids, instead of all being mercury, it created an infinite pressure tile. And since the other tiles were different liquids, it meant that it all had to accumulate on one tile. So instead of double layering it... Oh, dude, we got more steam. Where'd this come from? Oh, it's from the tile. The tile was hot. What happens is that if I could just pump it up now, I should be safe. Because if it accumulates again, I'll just eventually pump it before it breaks. Or at least I should be able to. I think we'll be fine. I think I'll be fine. That was a freak accident. I will say that. Freak accident. Freak accident. Be like that sometimes, man. I see and broke the tile. It would be like that sometimes. I thought that was weird. I was like, what? Why do we have so much steam here? Saw the hole and I was like, what the world? What in the world, man, was that? But we're okay now. We're okay. We still need to lower the temperature of like wires and pipes, but I think it's feasible. Alright, we don't need to pay attention to that anymore. We're good. We're good. Pause, sweep. Hit us with the autosave lag. The map's hot, boys. It is. I'm just lucky that it wasn't the rock gas. I'm just happy it wasn't the rock gas. Do you have infinite solid storage in 3 mesh stores? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Chillin' right here. Chillin'. Chillin' on the mech doors. I mean, mesh doors. What is the reasoning behind that? Oh, if you didn't know, items on the ground, it doesn't matter what item it is. If it's on the ground, every item has a decor penalty. The amount of decor penalty depends on what type of item it is. Sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's -5, sometimes it's -10. But that's always going to be 1 tile radius. So, if you put your stuff in the middle of the 3 doors, guess what happens? The decor penalty of -1,000, because we have 1,000 items in here, stacks up. But it's inside the doors, and the doors are locked, so your dupes can't operate with it. So, guess what? Outside of it, it's -27. -30, it's a lot less. So your duplicates don't get bodied by the -1,000 decor. And decor ties into your morale if you hover over your morale. The last thing on the total morale list is something called last cycle's decor, which is mediocre. And how that works is that you basically get a morale bonus. I think the most you could get is +9 by having something called gorgeous decor. So that value right there of last cycle's decor comes from this value of decor right here. So every cycle, they do that calculation of the decor value, and it's relative to the dupe. Thank you, Cthulhu. It's plus 12, not plus 9. And what that means is that each dupe will have a different plus value because they go to different parts of the map. The duplicates that go to the power plant, in my case, have the least amount of morale because the power plant room is goddamn ugly. So everyone that goes inside here, they're always going to have lower morale than everyone else. Now, a lot of the times, you want to upgrade the morale or just hide things with bad morale. So if you see on our playthrough, all my good morale is basically ranching. Well, not the glossy babies, the regular Drecos, these guys, the bedrooms, and then we have that's mostly it. Everything else is going to be negative. So you could either, make the bedrooms pretty nice and the kitchen, and the reason why is because they have to go to these rooms. Very sorry. They have to go to these rooms every cycle. If you go to a schedule, they always have to sleep. They always have to go to downtime. So a lot of the times you want to make your bedrooms and your meal hall and your bathrooms good decor. And the reasoning is because they're constantly moving when they're not inside the base. So as they walk by a bad decor area, they're only going to brush through it for like, a few seconds, unless they're working inside to do some, generator stuff. But when they're sleeping, when they're eating, when they're taking a dump, they're there for an extended period of time. Right? So the downtime right here, when they're sleeping, these are slots, right? And each one is an hour out of the 600 seconds. So that's what, 15 seconds per slot. So that's like a couple of minutes. They're just idling by the high decor area. And that's supposed to wash everything else, ideally. And then at that point, if you want to have good decor, we have to put statues everywhere on the map. Normally, I just go for the wash, the negative decor outside of my base, and the positive decor inside to just net zero. And then that's how I do it. My brain is happy now. Good stuff, right, BB&J? How you deep freeze your food? What's going on, Snow? I see you over there. I got this ice box where my heart used to be. And we're running ethanol through this. As you know, the ethanol value is at the best value, 69. And we freeze the food to 69 degrees. Afterwards, we just move the food out into a vacuum. This is a vacuum. That's a vacuum. And they're not even on metal tiles. They're on a regular insulated tile. Because when you're in a vacuum, the food has no heat transfer to anything else. But there's a little bit of heat transfer to the insulated tile. Now, that's actually why I freeze it past the deep freeze point. Deep freeze, general, is at minus 18. I go down to minus 35 something, so that if it warms up, it's still in deep freeze. Now, the warming up of the solid on top of an insulated tile, the equation is very, very slow. So to give you an idea, if you have two tiles next to each other, if you have a tile in water, you have a tile in gas, right? There's different calculations. So there's the heat transfer calculations. The best way to look at it is that there's a formula. That formula is manipulated by the stats of everything, and the formula changes given the type of contact it's making. I believe if you have something like a pipeline, radiant pipeline, gas line, a conveyor rail, inside of a door or a tile, that is the best heat transfer. Because that equation is, I think, the smallest. Meaning that, you don't divide anything by 10, you don't divide anything by another digit. That's probably just a formula. And then if you do other things like gas to solid, liquid to solid, liquid to gas, like I'm talking about solid tiles that you walk on top of, that's a little bit different. You divide by a value. Insulated tiles are insane. You take the square root. It's so stupid. You take the average of the two things, conductivity. So the food conductivity has a stat 0.6. That's very good for us. and then the insulated tile has 0.029, and then you take the average of those two numbers, and then you take the square root of that, and then you divide by another value. It's so convoluted, but just thinking about that, you're taking a square root of a value that's already the average. So that means the heat transfer here is very, very, very slow. We don't need to know what that value is. We just know the value is so close to 0 that we don't need to worry about it. So that's what I'm trying to take advantage of. Over freezing slightly, putting it on an insulated tile so that there's never any heat loss. Like the barbecue here, minus 51, minus 36. It's pretty good, pretty good. But yeah, that's just the property of a vacuum and how it's beneficial for food storage. A lot of people tend to not use an ice box and they use a design like this, where they have a metal tile, where they're running a radiant pipe on top of that, single radiant pipe, and then they run insulated setup like this. And then they put a oil drop there and make that a vacuum. It still works, but it's a lot slower to cool down the food. The problem with that is literally the food is not as fresh. You can see my food is pretty fresh, 97%. The pickled meal ice is because I use this on my space mission, so I take it out and I put it back in. But that's how that works. Yes, I have rails behind ice. You can't see it. It's very clean. Very clean. But what you want is you fill it up with water. Right? This is all just regular water. And then you freeze it. Just like how a radiant pipe, a conveyor belt could go through a tile. The ice is just a tile. So because of that, you put it in as water, freeze it by running the aqua tuner on top, and then have the rail already behind it, and you get basically everything as normal. The only thing that's kind of weird is this right here, the shutoff. The shutoff and the rail center both work when frozen on top of. And it's pretty interesting. Because this is a building, right? Normally you can't build that in the tiles, right? Not allowed to be built, no blueprints. But behind ice, it's fine. It's really weird. But once I figured that out, I was like, that's going to be the design. What I was thinking about doing was doing something like this, freezing it, and then making this here, and then deconstructing this so that this is a vacuum. That was the original idea. And then you would run a separate conveyor belt check for temperature. And then we could loop it back into the ice to cool it down, and we'll be all fine, right? But since the shutoff works in the ice, you know, just run it frozen. Hope that helps though, Snow. Got the clip? You have no idea how long I've been searching YouTube for a VOD of that? Can you do a quick overlay of the pipes and the conveyors so I could get that in one clip? I actually have this in a YouTube video. It's a different design though. If you want, I could actually make a video about this design. Opalani. That probably helps you out a little bit better. Oh, I have a one-tile kitchen storage design, but it's the design like this one. It's this design instead. I could do a video. But for the most part, I could give you the overlays as well, if you just want that. I'll keep the other explanations for the YouTube video. But it's very simple aqua tuner loop, ethanol. You have to pick a element that you could freeze. That's the thing that's a little bit of a challenge. You could get oil, but oil gets up to minus 54 before solidifying, right? So although you could get oil, you only go to minus 40. Petroleum is minus 55. 57. I'm using ethanol, which is minus 114 before it freezes, so I have a lot of leeway. And it also takes you a long time to freeze this much water. I will say that. It takes you a while to freeze the water. So you do have to wait for that to be finished. Oh, look at that. It's all done. The manual gen needs to be removed. The entire dining room kitchen setup. Okay, we could do that. So I have a one-tile kitchen food storage already on YouTube. That's basically an earlier version of this design without the icebox that utilizes the metal tile that we had earlier. That's already on YouTube. I could upload this design as well. This room, you know, it's up to you. I just want to have enough rooms for 2 floors. So that's actually why we have the airflows here. Not because I want these tables to be higher up, but literally because of tile count. I'm at 119 right now. But it works out pretty well. This is, so the thing with this design that I do is that you maximize the sweeper. That's the main purpose of this design. So you could basically hit 3 different cooking things if you understand the tile spacing. So for the kitchen buildings, there's something called an active tile. The active tile is where the sweeper is trying to aim at. So you need to find out where the active tile is. I'll probably explain that in the video. But for the grills, it's the middle tile. The only one that's weird is the micro musher, because it's only 2 tiles wide. But normally if you hit the middle tile, and which we do, you could always sweep the food into the respective grill. And I think you could only put 3 grills here unless you do a T-shaped food storage. So I have my food storage in a corner. You could actually put this in the middle and have a T-shaped design. So it ends up looking like this. And then you have oil here and oil here. And then you would do the sweeper on both sides, basically. Right? And then you could do 6 grills, or maybe I think it's 5. But you could do a design like this if you need to scale it up. Because I did this design for my 100 dupe colony playthrough, and it wasn't enough grills. I needed 6 grills to be able to keep up with the food production. So I ended up doing this design for the rooms. Grills on both sides, have everything set up. This is so sophisticated, really impressive. Thank you, Lifeguard. Happy to be able to help. Agreed, I see it, guys. Makes so much sense, active tiles. That's been messing me up. Yeah. So the trick or the rule of thumb is your blueprint is always selected on the active tile. So I told you guys that the grill's active tile is on the middle, right? So if you go to plumbing and you go to, I'm sorry, kitchen, food, and you go to the grill, the blueprint, right? That tile where my cursor is the active tile. As you could see, it's on the middle. Every time I move it over, it's always going to realign itself. So that's how you figure out where the active tiles are. For any building in the game, any building, every building has this function. So if you ever want to figure out where you need to sweep to, pull up the blueprint. That's literally all you need to do. Gas range in the middle. It's that simple. And you never have to look anything up. It's literally understand that one rule and life is going to be easier. Great info. I'm just happy to be able to help. Nice. But yeah, okay. So we could do a kitchen video. I didn't know if anyone needed something like that, but it's good to know that people do, so I can make that. Since I already know the design and ins and out of it, that's going to be a lot faster for me to actually get situated. Pretty good. I guess, is there any other questions that I could help you guys out with? So someone asked about the kitchen setup, which is how we got to this point in talking about the kitchen. So I could get that set up. So I'm curious if there's anything else you guys are curious about. Hey, you watched the Hot Shops video you uploaded. You watched that today? Yeah, I uploaded that late though. I uploaded that late. Like, that update came out in December, and it's February that I released the video. I feel so bad. But you know what's funny? I looked up other people's videos, and nobody actually goes over the update. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one actually is going over the update. Everyone just talks about it. But no one actually, like, goes into detail how the buildings work. They don't talk about the specifics of anything. No. I'm talking about the other content creators. It's like everyone has a video that, you know, they're just reading the patch notes or talking about how there's new buildings, new story traits, but no one talks about how they actually work. Oh, you're a girl. Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Sorry about that. It's the chat delay. So what you hear is me from the past, and now I'm speaking to the future. So then it's like 15 plus 15 is 30. So it's weird, man. It's weird. Yeah, and so I was just happy to be able to explain everything. How... Oh, showers. Yes, showers. We'll talk about that. So what room is this that you guys see my showers in? What room is that? How do you stop the dupes from taking food you don't want them to take? Consumables. You could micromanage the food choice. So I make it so that the dupes don't eat the raw food that I want cooked. Some of them I do allow them because they go on rocket trips a lot. But what I do is this food storage, it's not reachable, right? The dupes are down here and there's no ladders. So they can't grab any of the raw food. They can't grab any of that. Since they can't grab that, they're never going to infinite loop it. So I have a food storage bin outside that the dupes are able to deposit raw food. Right? So the raw food is always going to get picked up. And then since we always cook the food here and it drops on the floor afterwards, the auto sweepers always get it. Right? Since there's no food storage anywhere else, the loaders are always going to be the location for the food to get swept to. If a dupe grabs the cooked food off of the ground, he's actually going to eat it right away. So, short travel distance makes it so that's possible. Now, this food right here is cooked food. Cooked food has to be cooked from the grill. That's exactly why we have 2 sweepers and 2 loaders. One's for raw food, one's for cooked food. And then the cooked food is never allowed to be going back into here. It's not selected. So this stops the dupes from having a weird looping setup that rots the food. Hope that helps. Marco Universe. Thoughts on using wall toilets in the base? It's good if you're not planning on piping the water. Because if you do use a wall toilet, right, the water drips on the floor. And if you want to put it into the pipeline so you could feed it into a water sieve so that afterwards you could pipe it into your spawn. You don't want that. You use less water, but it comes at the cost of having to pump up the excess, right? So you have to pump that up. So it really depends on the situation. There is a situation where it benefits you, but more often than not, you're probably not going to want that. The only thing I could see how being okay with that is if you're using the pea water for arbor trees. And arbor trees need pea water, and they have a high temperature range of 40. And since duplicants pea is always at the same temperature of the dupes, 37 degrees more or less, what happens is that you basically have free water, or you get a little bit more water, and the toilets cost you not as much. And then your duplicants could pitcher pump the pea water and feed it into a regular farm tile or a planter box. Actually, I don't think you could build arbor trees on a planter box. I don't think that works. I think it has to be a farm tile. So with that works in that closed loop design, since you're always going to need the, pea water to feed the arbor trees, and then you don't have to worry about spending power to pump it up to. So that works out. That's clever with the showers. Yes, nature reserve. Yes. So this room right now, this is a nature reserve. It gives me a 6 morale bonus. And you know what else is funny? The showers give you a 3 morale bonus as well. Right? So that means that if I make the dupes go to bath time in the morning, and I make them pee before they go to sleep at night, every time they wake up, they're going to shower. Bath time, as you could see right here, they will either shower or use the restroom. And that depends on if they're having high bladder percentage. Right here, bladder. I think it needs to be above 50%, and they don't have small bladder for this to be able to use the toilet on bath time. I think that's the ruling for that. I'm not sure. But since they don't have high bladder percentage, they're basically just able to shower. And they get the 3 morale from showering, and then 6 morale from walking into a nature reserve. So that guarantees them 9 morale. We get another 6 morale from the Great Hall. And then the bedrooms, at least 2. So that's what? 9 to 11 plus 6, 17. Bathroom, night before. That's 19. Eating the food, it's all barbecue or cooked fish. That's plus 8, 27. And then I don't have rec rooms yet. I'll probably get that. But 27 morale from food and room types. That's not that bad. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Too legit. Is there a way to pour water on liquid locks with bottles when we don't have places to mop? I mean, how to make water bottle without mopping on the floor? Is that possible? Sorry, new question. Doubt on my mind while playing. Pitcher pumps. Pitcher pumps. So, pitcher pumps allow you to pump up the water. Like this. Now, if you want to use the pitcher pump stuff for the liquid locks, you need to enable bottle empty. Bottle emptier. There's a button right here. Auto bottle. So on the status, it's to say auto bottle is on. Auto bottle means you allow the duplicates to grab water from a pitcher pump. Pitcher pump works is that if anything touches the roots of the pitcher pump, they're able to pump it up. And by clicking on the pitcher pump, you get to see how much liquids it's available. So that might be what you're looking for. Let me know, Hulk Bravo. Hope that's what you're looking for. If not, let me know. So for you to use that, you have to use auto bottle has to be on. So on the status, it should say auto bottle on. If you want to there's no way to make that sweep only, though. That's a problem. Yeah, there's no way to make that sweep only. Now, if you don't want to do that, you could forcefully use the plumbing skill. On the skills tab right here, if you scroll to the bottom, there's something called plumbing. If you get this skill, you unlock extracting pipe contents. So let me turn off the camera for Mamba. I can't see him anyways. So right here. Extract pipe contents. You can actually extract the pipes liquid. So we're gonna take some. Let's take some bathroom water, I guess. You could find a pipeline with liquid and then extract the pipe contents. Let's do a priority 9 here. Oh, there it is. So Zero Dragon does it. And then when he finishes one job, I'm gonna cancel. You get a bottle of water, 10 kilograms. That's whatever it's in the pipe. So you could do that way, but it's only releasing 10 kilograms at a time. You could do this forever though, and get as much water as you want in a bottle. That's another way, and then you could sweep that to the bottle emptier. Don't know if that's what you're looking for though. Very nice setup, thank you, Marco. How did you figure all this out? I mean, there's no Oni University. What's going on? Life guys to you over there. Playing this game since full release. I have almost 3,000 hours on this game. Just playing with as few mods as possible. I found out that even if, you know, you play the game, you have a good mastery on it then, you're not really a master of the game until you put in the hours, right? And I'm starting to realize why. Yes, you have a great, you know, understanding of the fundamentals, how to get to point A to point B to point C, and then, you know how to beat the game. But there's a lot of little nuances from the beginning to end that you probably never really look into, gloss over, or never really experience due to the fact that you're playing a certain way. Because of that, there's some things you don't experience, and that really only happens when you play the game a lot of time. So if you ever seen the book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers, he has a rule that says you're not actually good at the game until you put in 10,000 hours. You could be good, but you're not great. And that's what he means. And he says that it's not that you can't be proficient. It just means that you're not a master. That's all that means. And when you become a master of the game, you should have a general idea of if someone explains a new concept to you, you should be able to easily visualize it. And I can. Like if someone explains, oh, someone did this design with that design with this, and I'm okay, I see how that works. And then, you know, people in chat, when they tell me designs, I try to visualize it by just building out a blueprint. That, oh yeah, I have my infinite liquid storage design with the oil. I'm like, okay, so that means you have this design, right? You have the oil lock like this. And then you have your pump on this side. And then the oil, and then any other liquid is here. Infinite liquid storage, right? You gotta have the experience and knowledge to be able to piece together. And then that really only happens from experiencing everything in the game. And then as you play a lot more, you start to experiment with certain things, manipulate things a little bit more, push your game to the limit a little bit more, min-maxing. And then at that point, you know, you become the Wikipedia. That's basically what happened to me. I started becoming the Wikipedia page. Like, you just name it, dude. I know everything on the Wikipedia. It's so ridiculous. If there was a Oni University, 2 legit would have a honorary PhD. Let's go. I'm down. Clever. Who doesn't like hanging out with their friends in a public bathhouse? I gotta put in a sauna. It'll be kind of cool. They also get morale for a nature reserve when they're in the transit tube. So I run my tubes right through one. Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually pretty smart. I see a marker universe. As you can see, I don't play with a lot of tubes. I probably should get some started. Sweep only from the bottom emptier is on the left by the filters. What? I don't think that works. That's probably a mod. Yeah, you could sweep only, but you can't use the pitcher pump. You can't sweep a pitcher pump. That's the problem. Thanks, that might be it. And I don't think they have the plumbing skill. Oh, you might want to check that out, but hopefully that helps you out. Speaking of mods, which one are you using? Select the multiple mop locations. Smart mop. Oni mods. Number 1. So smart mop is quality of life 100%. Anytime you have a liquid on the ground, that's the same liquid, that's a wide spill like this. Clicking on it will mop up everything of the same elements. So only the water got mopped up. That's because the water was touching each other. So it just mops everything up for you. So it's pretty convenient. I like having it. It's really nice. Just mop by clicking a couple times. I love this game very much. I know that I have to invest thousands of hours, which is scary. And you don't have to invest thousands of hours. You could avoid that by just watching the meta builds and designs. It just means that you're not going to become the first person to discover something. That's all that means. It's no problem, no issue with you just playing the game when something new comes out. A lot of people do that. A lot of people who speed run the game, a lot of people that are masters, they're not usually the first ones to discover the tactics or the tricks. They just happen to utilize it a little bit more efficiently. So you just wouldn't become the first person to discover infinite storage. You wouldn't be the first person to discover a certain glitch or exploit. But you just have to pay attention, learn from it, and then, you'll be able to keep up. You just will never be ahead of the pack. That's really it. And that's perfectly fine. A lot of people don't have to be the best and just have fun with the game, and that's, great. At that point, you don't have to put thousands of hours in a game. I'd rather have you guys put the hours in a game if you like playing it. You know what I'm saying, man? If you have fun with it, that's amazing. Snipping tool is my favorite quality of life. Marco, did you hear that they're actually working, Clay, the developers? They're adding a Clay developed version of pliers. So pliers, we could do this. Individual pipeline segments. The one that Clay is developing only cuts one segment. So this cut into like 20 different pieces. The one Clay is developing, even if you do this, it's only going to cut one segment like that. So their pliers is a little bit more balanced so that autosave lag doesn't ruin you. But it also means that if you want to redo your tangled spaghetti, you can't just draw a box, over your pipelines like this. Like, oh, I want to redo this. You can't do that anymore. That's the only thing with the Clay version of pliers that they have in public testing branch, if you guys want to test that out. I believe that's available for us to test out already. Some pretty cool stuff on there. I think a lot of people also never realize there's a sandbox mode. Yes, sandbox mode. Options, game, turn off autosave. You never want to play with sandbox mode on. And then turn on sandbox mode. It's a great way to learn. That's how I learned to play the game. when I first got this game, there was people in chat telling me to do this, to do that, look up this video, look up that streamer. And when I did, and I watched their videos, they were completely just not updated. So I saw a couple of designs from Francis John. I saw a couple of designs from Brothgar, and then none of them worked. None of them worked. None of the designs they worked that they'd explain, none of it worked. And I didn't realize that Oxygen Not Included was a game where the developers were not afraid to change up the fundamental, playthrough elements. And I thought everything was going to be more or less the same. No, man, they patched everything and they have no fear of patching. And because of that, none of the designs worked. Everything failed. And I was like, you know what, man, these YouTubers are lying to me. I'm just gonna, learn the game myself. Started playing, and then one day someone in chat told me there was sandbox mode. And then once I found that out, that's how I learned to play the game. Because the thing with this game is you don't understand how some of the things work. Like one of the things that's really funny, it's watching a new player for the first time try to figure out the aqua tuner without having them look at videos. Because they're not going to know about the pipeline automation. They're not going to know about the bridge setup, right? And they're going to fail. That's just going to happen. But it's like, even though that happens, they learn from it. The thing is, though, is that if they had the aqua tuner sooner and they had a chance to play around with it, it wouldn't be as bad. And that's literally all it is. Getting a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of experience. And the sandbox mode is great for that, especially new buildings, if you guys are looking to check those out. But guys, I hate to do this, but this is going to be a great spot for me to wrap things up for the night. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. We're going to have to get the Delecta Vole farm set up. What day is it today? Friday, I think. We're going to do it on Friday.